Mnuchin and Chairman Powell. I want to commend you both on the outset here for your leadership during this unprecedented time. Both the United States Department of Treasury and the Federal Reserve System have shown their ability to both effectively and rapidly respond to the economic crisis caused by COVID-19 by providing trillions of dollars to stabilize our economy. Chairman Powell and Secretary Mnuchin, lender registration for the Main Street lending program went live on June 15th, I believe. Do either of you know how many lenders have registered so far? And do you know the average size of the lenders participating? If not, when do you think this information might be made available? I'll toss it to either.
Sure. So in the range of 300 banks, and it may be higher than that, that number's a few days old, have entered the registration process. It takes a few days, so I can't tell you exactly how many, but that's how many will come out of the pipeline.
Average size of lenders
don't know. The size ranges from the large to the very small, and the very small are particularly well represented, but it does range across the full spectrum.
And you will be providing this information to us on a regular basis?
We're working with the borrowers to figure out the right way to connect lenders and borrowers and lenders so they can get in touch with each other. So we're working with the lenders to put something together that will make that happen in the most efficient way.
Thank you, Chairman Powell. In your efforts to create broad-based programs, do you think that the Main Street facility will need to expand any further to meet the needs of our businesses?
Let me say as you've seen, the Secretary and I worked very closely on this, and we've been very willing to learn from experience and learn from what we're hearing from different parts of the economy. So we
certainly did with the PPP program, so I would hope that we would approach this the same way.
We will. I mean, as you know, we're in the relatively early stages of opening up a nonprofit Main Street facility, and I think we'll be watching as regular Main Street fully comes online and continuing to look to see whether there are ways we can improve it.
Thank you. Chairman Powell, last week's release of the Federal Reserve's CCAR outcome and, more importantly, the results of their COVID-19 sensitivity analysis underscores the resilience, I think, of the banking system. While we can all agree that the level of uncertainty in the economy continues to be high given the progression of the COVID-19 pandemic, I believe the Federal Reserve subjected CCAR filers to extraordinary assumptions regarding unemployment and GDP contraction. Despite these assumptions, the 33 largest banks remained above minimum Tier 1 capital requirements. Given that, I'm wondering why the Federal Reserve has indicated firms will need to resubmit capital plans, and in addition, there will be an off-cycle supervisory stress test in the, quote, latter part of the year. You know, the Federal Reserve already concluded firms' capital planning, management processes, I think approaches and assumptions passed the toughest tests. So could you explain that, please?
Sure. So what the 33 institutions all passed was the regular way severely adverse scenario that we wrote before the pandemic arrived. So that's what controlled the outcome at this time. We also, though, remember the pandemic arrived right in the middle of the stress test period. So we quickly devised, without going through our usual very thorough vetting process, 3 alternative sensitivity analysis, one of which was a V-shaped recovery, one of which was U-shaped, and one of which was a serious double dip. And these are very serious downside cases. We didn't use them to evaluate individual institutions, but rather to evaluate the broad range of institutions, and we didn't.
I'm running out of time, and I just, why lock up additional capital now? I guess this has the potential to have, I think, a chilling effect on the economy at exactly the point where banks need to provide credit and liquidity to households and businesses to facilitate economic recovery and support financial intermediation in the capital markets. So I leave you with
No,
that.
we didn't do that. We're not looking to raise capital standards
Okay.
during a crisis. That's not what's going on here.
Thank you for that clarification, and I yield back.